Welcome back to my Mommie Dearest series, where we talk about moms who commit crimes, who have narcissistic personality disorders, and all the things that come along with having a mother who is a little off her rocker. Okay, now today we're going to get into the Kouri Richins case, so let's get into it, okay? Now, if you're new here, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Make sure you hit that subscribe. You do all the things to help this video get that algorithm, okay? Even if you just hit a comment and hit a like, it helps me. Now, Kouri Richins is a woman who allegedly, decided to take the life of her husband, okay? And the whole reason that she kind of got caught was she allegedly wrote a book about grief. Okay, now it's a fact. I guess it's not alleged. She wrote a book about grief. And the book was to help her children deal with not having their father around. Okay, now when you look back at this story, she looks like she's a mom. She has the perfect family. She's a realtor. Her and her husband are very happy. But beneath the surface is a lot. Okay, now it seems like on the outside, she was living a happy marriage. She was happy with her husband. But according to court documents and her now being on trial for allegedly, taking his life, we now see all the things that happened in the relationship. There were ups, there were downs, she was happy. And then we get, of course, like we've seen a lot of these court cases, an insurance policy, okay? And it comes out that she wrote this book, and I think, if she had not wrote the book, she probably could have got away with some things for a little bit longer, if not forever. Now, his family, the husband's family, feels like she had been plotting for a long time. This isn't the first time she allegedly tried to do something to him permanently. Now, the case comes into play because of this book, writing a book about grief. Now, to me, she's not my client, so I don't know her individually. I can only speak on facts about the case from what I've read, also what I watched in different 48 hours, Dateline, all those things. So I'm going back and forth about whether she's a narcissist, because that's a very heavy term, her disorganized attachment, because we don't know much about her parenting style. We haven't really seen her speak in court. She has very like a stoic look on her face all the time. You see her here and there have mannerisms and things like that, but the most we've seen her talk was in this interview about the children's grief book. Now, she says she wrote it to help her children deal with their father not being there, and that's what really sparked a lot of things. Now, some people might feel like she roped in her children to get the attention, the sympathy and empathy for people about what happened with her husband. But it felt like that unraveled a lot of things where people started to look at her a little bit closer, with also the light from his family. Now, according to court documents and things that I've read, she also tried to do this same thing to him, that he apparently died of a drug overdose. Okay, it is alleged that she poured something into his shake and it was lethal, and that's what happened. Now, there was things in the past that he got very sick from a sandwich that she made him. He also got very sick on a trip that they went to in Europe. But at that time, the trip in Europe, he was able to recover. And there's a lot of speculation that maybe he had been drinking. And there were other family members there who said that it wasn't as serious as in the court documents. But for him to have become violently ill multiple times around his wife, who was feeding and giving him things, it kind of makes you think now, doesn't it? Okay. Now, throughout this court case, a lot of things have been coming out. Most recently, it actually came out that her mother actually had a lover who also passed away mysteriously. Now, there's no indication that the mother had anything to do with that person's death, but there were similar circumstances. And so it made me start to wonder, like, mother like daughter? Are they in cahoots together? And even the court documents, people are starting to wonder if the mom helped her with the husband's passing. Okay, now if my mama was involved or had a situation similar to mine, as a person on the outside, I would also start wondering what your mama got to do with this. Okay, is it like mother like daughter? Are y'all in cahoots? But in the court, in the court proceedings, her defense attorney is trying to say that she was not propelled by money. She had her own lifestyle. She was a realtor. She had bought this big house that she was really about to renovate. So her defense is that money was not a motivator and she didn't have a motive. Okay, I think that as much as we see these Dateline cases, much as we see women in the news for, being involved in the passing of their significant others, and men too, oftentimes insurance policies are at the beginning of that, greed. But in this case, outside the insurance policy, it seems like the prosecution has not been able to really give us a little bit more of why she would do this. Okay. But it also came out that she did change. I think she either attempted to change or she was able to change information in the insurance policy before his passing. So that gives you more leeway to, this might have been planned for quite some time. Now, as a therapist, I am concerned about her children because I'm wondering about how it affects them not only to lose their father, but to have so much scrutiny around their relationship with their mother. Their mom is in jail. I don't know when's the last time they've probably seen them. I believe that the kids are staying with his side of the family. So you would obviously think that if the in-laws think that the wife has something to do with it, they're probably not going to allow the kids to be involved with that side of the family at all. So now the kids are having a disconnect of a relationship with their mother. Their mom is going to, I guess she isn't, I can't say she's going to jail, but she's currently in jail for the crime of, why their father is not here. So you have to think about all the trauma that those children are going through, maybe the things that they are also hearing from their in-laws. How are they readjusting? How are they coping? They lost basically two parents. They have their father who passed and now their mother who's on trial for the crime. Okay. As a child, you have to deal with the things that are being said. Maybe they had to switch schools, all those things. And did she take into account if, it comes out and they prove that she, committed this crime? Was it selfish of her? Did she think about how this would affect her children, those around her? It does not seem that way. And oftentimes people become in a place in their marriage that they start to only think about themselves. And as a mother, it's kind of like our job, our way to think about other people before us. But in this case, it started to feel like she became about herself. And I'm wondering what takes a person from being that nurturing mother to snapping. Okay. And I want to know more about who she is as a person. Will she take the stand? There hasn't been much about her and her personality. You just see this very stoic person. And when I watch some of these court trials and I'm watching some of the documentaries, Dateline, things like that, to me, it does not do the person well when they're very stoic and not showing a lot of emotion. Okay, she just seems like she just sits there and listens to what people are testifying for and against her, but not showing any remorse, not showing any sadness. Be distraught. Act like you're actually sad about your husband passing, losing the relationship with your children, but instead to be stoic, I don't think that's really going to work out well for her. Okay, and also there have been things said that she's trying to coerce her brother's testimony. She's trying to send letters about what they should say. It really does seem like she is manipulative. Even if she didn't commit the crime, we can say that she is manipulative. And she's trying to do whatever she can to get out of this case, to make it seem like her husband was a substance abuse user and that's what really killed him. But so far, there has not been a lot of evidence to show that that's really what is going on. And now, a lot of her jail calls are being released. There's really no privacy for her, and she did that to herself. All of this is because me. I stopped thinking about my children. I stopped thinking about those around me and just decided to do this for myself. And it could be also that if her mother allegedly was involved, maybe the mom, guided her and she thought, well, my mom got away with it. Maybe I will too. But in a lot of these cases, the women in the beginning had poor dynamics within themselves, and I think their relationship with their own parents. I'm wondering about the relationship with her and her mother. What is her mother's attachment style? I'm also wondering about, you know, what is her attachment style? Because once again, we don't see a lot of who she is, the psychological reports. I would be very curious to read on what some psychologist or someone did documenting, assessing her mentally about what's really going on there. But to take the life allegedly of your husband at the sake of your children, that is the ultimate, to me, selfish thing to do. Now those kids have to live without a father. They potentially have to live without a mother, all because of their mother's selfish needs. And we see oftentimes children are more conditioned than raised, and they have to live with the selfishness of their parents. And you see how that affects them as adults, making decisions, the trauma. You perpetuate that same traumatic dynamic that you have with your mother into adult relationships, friendships, even career moves. So I hope the children are getting some counseling, because these are going to have long-term effects on them. I hope that they are able to, I don't know, would you want your child to have a relationship with the side of the family who was kind of involved in a court case regarding the death or of their father? Should those kids have a relationship with the other side of the family? Would it be detrimental to them? Right now, the whole thing is like it's really sad for the kids. But let me know your thoughts, because yeah, we're gonna follow this case. Okay, she's been in court, off court, but most recently she was in court, and they were trying to now get her visitations with her brother and her family donezo. Okay, because we see what's going on there. But of course, we can get into, let me know your thoughts. Okay, what do you think about her attachment style based off what we've seen, based off the details of this case? What kind of attachment style do you think she has? I'm guessing it's probably disorganized myself. But of course, we can get into all things Mommie Dearest on my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.